you. It is now 6:28 p.m. I call this meeting of the Lafayette Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members are present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Please stand.
Please bow your head. Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us together today. We thank you for all our blessings that you have bestowed upon us, your mercy, your grace, your love. We ask you to be with us as we make decisions that will benefit our students and our district, and ask you to continue to watch over our family, our friends, our community, keep them safe and healthy always. In your precious Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. Pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, one and indivisible.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of June 10th of 2024 and June 25th of 2024? I have a motion by Mrs. Martinez. Do I have a second?
I second.
I have a second by Mrs. Johnson. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of June 10th and June 10th and June 25th. All in favor? Raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried 4-0. I'm assuming we don't have anybody for public comment. First information item is a student handbook, 2024-2025, student dress code.
Good evening, Board President Ms. Castillo, board members, and Mrs. Torres. Tonight, I present to you the student handbook for 2024-25, the section of the student dress code. We did meet with school administration, and they came up with some suggestions on our dress code. If you can see here, the highlighted area, they deleted some. They revised it to delete, like for number four, basketball shorts, walking shorts, and or shorts with elastic or pull will be allowed. At one time, they were only allowed for students in pre-K 3 through fourth grade, but now it's something that they would like to implement throughout the school, throughout the district. Rosaries must be worn inside clothes. That was also revised.
I'm at number 18, ma'am, about the warm-ups.
Warm-ups. So apparel used in PE athletic classes may not be worn to class. No warm-ups or wind pants are allowed. Joggers must have a button or a zipper. This was going back and forth for a while, but school administrators say that, they don't have a concern with this, and plus kids enjoy it. They used it at one time for incentive. Principals used it for incentive, as a reward, and the kids enjoyed it, so they would like to implement that in this dress code. Okay, that's for the girls, and the same thing goes for the boys as well. One thing that they added on number 15 was some examples of hairstyles not allowed include the mohawk, spikes, tails, razor lines, no designs, dreads, braids, French braids, or ponytails or man buns. We added the word ponytails on there as well for the hair. And then number 18 is the same thing. They removed the warm-ups and then also the rosaries, which will be allowed. So those are the revisions for our student dress code for this coming school year.
So they can wear a rosary, is basically what they're saying?
They really don't have that's been on there a long time, and
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh, wow.
that's not something that they really have an
A
issue
problem
with,
with.
right. And then the warm-ups, campuses were doing it a lot of times on Fridays or different things, and they just decided that's just not really a problem, and when it's cold sometimes, and at different times, And the same thing with the walking shorts, as long as it's 3 inches, you know, above the knee and it meets all those requirements, then they're okay if they wear the basketball shorts or walking shorts.
But that's not cutoffs, right? That's
No,
not.
that's not cutoffs, that's, you know, shorts
Yeah.
they wear.
And like I said, we did meet with all administration, this is what they decided, they are recommending, they, felt that they don't have concerns with some of these, revisions.
It's really not a lot of changes if you think about it.
No.
No.
Any questions of Ms. Ramos? Okay, the second information item is Superintendent Performance Goal 2, Activity 1, the facility needs assessment.
Thank you, Madam President, board members. I did give you a copy you have, because I wanted you to be able to take something with you. And you only had the one on the screen. So as you know, on May 7th, we had the long-range facility team meet. And we came, and these are parents, members of the community, some staff members, and they listed things that they felt, that were priority. And so they got to vote on the top 5, so each of them got different points that they could give. And so you can see, according to what they felt, in the ranking there, what was the priority. We are going to have another meeting at the beginning of August, and at that meeting, we will have estimated cost for, and I talked to Mr. Moore, and he gave us the parking lot, basically an estimated cost for what the parking lot would cost for Green. But we will go all the way down the line and have estimated cost. And then it shows different funding sources, you know, whether if we wanted to do that particular project or address that facility need, what kind of funding would we have? But we're not at that point yet. We did, you know, meet, and I know Ms. Martinez is on this committee, and she made a recommendation that I thought was great, is at the end of July, we're going to have walkthroughs by this committee, and we're going to go to the campuses and high school and a couple of campuses of areas that they've talked about it, and let them see the facilities, because they put these are the priorities, but maybe when they go out there, they may adjust their priorities, or they may think, I put this as number 1, but when I went out there, this needs to be moved to number 1. So we will have a daytime walkthrough, and we will also have a nighttime walkthrough. Those, their walkthroughs, I will let all the board know when we're going to do that, and you're welcome to join us at those walkthroughs, just so that you can have hear that conversation again. One will be during the day, and one will be in the evening, and you're welcome to go to those walkthroughs if you want to. Then after we have that, we will come back and we will have a meeting, and we'll have some estimated cost, and then that committee will be able to say, I wanna add, based after our walkthrough, I wanna add some things based upon what we saw. And we will revamp this list and then come back to another meeting. We're hoping probably the 3rd or 4th meeting to do a workshop with the board, with that committee and the board, so everybody on the board will be in that meeting, and then we'll start to have more discussions, because when we get to that point of recommendations from that committee, I want the whole board to be a part of that
Right.
discussion. So that will probably be meeting 3 or meeting 4. So this is something that we'll be doing, but you can kind of go down the list and see some of the different ideas or different things that they talked about.
What's a remote magnetic door?
That's something we're already doing with our grant. Those are that, at any time, and I'll try to not get too specific because of safety reasons, but, the principal will be able to, from their phone or from
Oh, I
many
see.
different access points, be able to lock down everything.
I see, okay.
And so that's something that's already going to be done. So that's why it's put there grant, because we'll be able to take care of that with a safety grant. Is there anything else, Mr. Cavazos, you think that they were talking about with that?
The grant money?
No, with the magnetic door, or Ms. Ramos?
No.
I think that's what they were talking about when it came to that,
Yeah,
that
we
specific
still have
thing.
about $700,000 left on that grant money, so there's funds for those safety issues.
Yes, so we'll look at it, and again, I really think that was a great idea to go out there, because some of the things that I'm thinking about with facilities, they may not even think about because they're not out there. And so that will give them an opportunity to go out there. On the back page and on the next page, these are some of the things that we've done, and we will share with the committee as well. This past year, for 23-24 that we did with facilities. We refurbished existing doors district-wide. Entrances to foyers at campuses, included safety glass and additional doors. They already have completed the high school. If you go to the high school now, there used to be a single door to go out the front. Now it's double doors, so the traffic can move, and it also was a safety issue of having such a one door to exit. They're also changing things at Green. When you go into Green now, there's no longer a door on the right side. That is a window that somebody will be by the window and they'll have to be buzzed in. And so that's a safety feature. Sam Houston, they're doing the same type of thing. And in Vail, they're doing some to the foyer. So those were the 4 campuses that we had to address that. And again, all of that is being done through the safety funds. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Installation of access lockdown systems, and that's kind of what we just mentioned. We added 8-foot fencing because the state requires that. So do we like the fact that we have barbed wire fencing all around our schools? Of course not. We would like them to have no fencing. But the state now requires that the parameter of a school must have 8 feet fencing, and so that has been added. We've rekeyed all the campuses, lift station replaced at the high school for the sewer system, and that was added. Additional water line at Sam Houston for the golf program. They ran a water line, so where they practice now, they have water at that area. We renovated the athletic office and made 2 offices, one for the secretary and one for the athletic director. That was done in-house. And so we didn't have to subcontract that at all. It was just adding a couple of walls. New suppression system at Culinary Arts. We did a lot of work with Culinary Arts last year. We renovated the gas lines, a new suppression system. We changed the electrical for new stoves that they got, and removal of cabinets, and kind of gutted it and repainted it. So a lot of renovations last year for Culinary Arts. We converted the exterior pole lights at Sam Houston to LED. That's the process that we're going around the district as we start at Sam Houston. They've done the back part of Sanchez, and they're going campus by campus, slowly changing out the light systems to LED. And then, of course, the building next door for our police department, we had some renovations that we did again in-house to prepare for that. So that's some of what we have done facility-wise. It doesn't include HVAC. We have addressed HVAC issues. We have added new units when needed throughout the year. Any questions about facilities? I'll send you all the dates as soon as we have the specific dates. We're looking at the 29th, which is a Monday right now, and we'll have one during the day and one in the evening. But that's the date we're looking at.
July?
July. It's a Monday. I'm not sure, it will be either the 29th. I know it won't be the 30th because that's our back to school rally. So probably the 29th of July. That's it for that.
Thank you. The third item is Superintendent Performance Goal 3, Activity 1, Parent Contacts.
On the superintendent performance goals, we did have it this month. When I look back, I thought, I don't know why we put it because we've only had 3 events, but I will report on those 3 events that we had in May and June for parents. We did have a Wellness Wednesday all about mom, and we had 42 attend that. Our summer bash, we had about 113 that signed in. That doesn't include everybody that was there that was working and so forth. And then Wellness Fitness Week for our community parents, we had about 56 that week with Mrs. Laredo. So that was what we did in May and June with our parental involvement.
Any questions or response? Thank you. There are 3 items on the consent agenda: monthly tax report, quarterly investment report, and the student code of conduct. Do I have a motion to approve the items listed on the consent agenda? I have a motion by Mrs. Montalvo. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Johnson. It's been moved and seconded to approve the items listed on the consent agenda. All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried 4-0. First item to consider and possible action is a discussion and consideration to approve the district improvement plan for 24-25 school year.
Yes, Board President, tonight we bring before you the district improvement plan goals and objectives. I believe you have them in front of you. The district planning committee met on the 6th of June and on the 20th of June to review the goals based on the data from the evaluation. It is a request and recommendation from the administration that the board approve the 24-25 district improvement plan.
And in June, before we left, everybody was sent the copy of the
Mhm.
entire plan.
Yes.
Madam President, I move that we approve the district improvement plan for school year 2024-2025.
Do I have a second? It's been moved and seconded to approve the district improvement plan for school year 2024-2025. Any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried 4-0. Next item is a discussion and consideration to nominate and approve delegates for the TASB or TASB convention from September 27th to the 29th of 2024.
So, Madam President, in September, we will have the fall conference in San Antonio. And during that time, coming up before our legislative year, that's a very important delegate assembly. So we just need somebody to be a delegate and somebody to be the alternate.
Who's the delegate and who's the alternate?
Well, what were you last year? Delegate?
I was a delegate.
Okay, well, I can be the delegate and you can be the alternate if you want.
So you'll be the delegate?
Mhm.
You'll be the alternate. Okay, do I have a motion? We have a motion by Mrs. Montalvo. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mrs. Johnson. Any further discussion? It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried 4-0. It is now 6:45 PM and we are moving into closed meeting. First one to Texas Government Code Chapter 551. Thank you. It is now 7:16 PM and we are now reconvening to open session. Let the record show that the superintendent approved the resignation and as presented by administration in closed session, Carol Gonzalez, Blanca Zavaleta, Ivan Esquivel, and Laura Villarreal. Any other motions?
Yes, Madam President, I move that we offer a probationary contract as discussed in closed session for the 2024-2025 school year to Maria Trevino, 1-year probationary contract pending completion of required documentation.
And do I have a second? I have a second by Mrs. Martinez. All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. District announcements?
Yes, on the 22nd of July, we had the District Leadership Institute luncheon at 12 PM at Cortino's Italian Restaurant. On August the 1st is our first day back for staff. On the 5th of August, we have convocation from 9 AM to 1 PM. On the 12th of August, we have a regular scheduled board meeting at 6 PM. August the 12th is the first day back for all students. And September 27th through the 29th is the TASB Fall Convention.
And I'll also include these in your weekly report this week, so you'll have them.
Okay.
Oh, right there.
If there is no other business, do I have a motion to adjourn? I have a motion by Mrs. Montalvo. Do I have a second? And a second by Mrs. Martinez. All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. It is now 7:18 PM and this meeting is now adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.